It's time to dish with the Paddock Prince just in time for the Kentucky Derby Championship Series. The stakes go up this weekend, 50 points to the winner at the Risen Star Stakes. And as I do bring on the Paddock Prince David Levitch, I actually like this group a lot. I think it's been competitive 2-3, and expecting more to join the fray as the stakes get higher.
Yeah, I think this group is getting better and better. I think there's even some maiden winners recently that have been really good. The Risen Star is by far the best Derby prep yet. I know we say that every single time there's a new prep, but it does from top to bottom. You have some intriguing horses like East Avenue, Jonathan's Way, some up and comers like Vassimo and Built. Yeah, I think it's all getting better.
Septarian.
Who?
Yeah, Septarian.
I saw you were high on that horse
I
based on your
mean,
fair odds.
medium. We'll see what the price
You're gonna
is,
have to explain that one
and
to me.
we'll get there in a moment. But first,
Yeah,
I do owe you an apology.
thank you.
After
Go
the
ahead.
Sam F.
Go ahead.
Davis, I poo-pooed the thought that Poster was the horse people were most excited about. I thought the top two ran fine. I thought, being beaten that many lengths, plus my Remsen bias, I'm sure played a role. I didn't see it at the time, but I am a big data guy, believer in, relying on it when applicable. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say that the data that I most rely on, Ragozin, gave Poster the best number for the Sam F. Davis. So if they like him, I'm not saying I have to love him, but I need to acknowledge that, maybe I jumped the gun. So I'm sorry.
Listen, I'll accept your apology this time. It's hard, but I will accept your apology. But it looked like Tampa Bay that day was really
Sure.
speed favoring. So the only reason I gave Poster some real credit was he was making up ground. He missed a work. Don't forget he missed a work.
Yeah, there's
He
there's
ran
things
well.
to like going forward, and I was willing to consume the humble pie so much that I actually took him in a fantasy draft earlier this week. So
Things are coming full circle for you for
I am
Poster.
sorry about that. Now I did notice to bring it half circle to your top 10. He did not make that, which I understand. He wouldn't be in my top 10 either, even after seeing the nice number in the Davis. But I mean, just even looking at these 10, it's a good group, and we'll see a few of them square off Saturday. Bob Baffert, well representative, no surprise there. But I mean, this is a competitive lot.
Yeah, no, I mean this is the way too early Derby top 10 for me. River Thames doesn't even have a point yet. Sovereignty has a few points. The horse number 3, Citizen Bull, I don't know what to do with that horse. I got to see him actually get pressured for one time and not have a Baffert brigade to his outside to where he actually gets pressured. I think Burnham Square's got a lot of ability. Sandman ran huge in the what's the first prep at Oakland? Not the Rebel, the Southwest. Ran well. Barnes is going to get the 2-turn test, I think, next weekend. Rodriguez, I thought, ran really well against Citizen Bull. He had an odd trip. Built, who we'll talk about in the Risen Star. East Avenue's in the Risen Star. I'm really curious to see what he does. We can also talk about him. And then the Withers might be back. I don't know. Captain Cook looked pretty good. So I think this could obviously change in a week. But right now, I like River Thames and his ability.
Hey,
Thought he was good going the mile in a second
if the
start.
Remsen's back, why not the
Times.
Withers?
I don't know. I don't want to be too biased towards New York, so I'm going to say maybe on Captain Cook. If he wins the Wood Memorial, maybe he can. What's the curse? Funny side? Is it Funny
Vincent
side?
Funnyside, yeah. Which he didn't even win the
Yeah,
Wood.
maybe he can. Is it River Thames or Times? Am I saying
It's
his name
Thames.
wrong? Is it Times? Oh, okay. I was just making sure. I thought I heard somebody say like Times or something. I want to be like that guy who can't speak
I
correct
think
English.
Tom's is like I've heard that, but I mean the English, the actual river is the Thames.
Then you know what? I'm using you for my geography and pronunciation. I'm going with what you
I
say.
probably have Citizen Bull 1 just because we know he's in, he has the points. I agree with you on the Baffert stuff. I mean, he'd be number 1 just as okay, best 2-year-old, and hasn't done anything to make me think he isn't at least as good as most of these. But I mean, you could shuffle these up and not be totally off, which that's part
I
of what
mean, if
makes it
we
fun.
really wanted to, we could do it. Well, we could do a deep dive into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and how how talented that race looked and how goofy the result was in terms of horses not showing up, no speed, East Avenue not breaking. Gaming, who ran second, has been dreadful in his next two starts. So I just don't know
Yeah,
about Citizen
ferocious.
Bull, but he is
I
in.
know a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's the one that
Can't go two
closed and
turns.
then didn't work out for him in his 3-year-old
He can't go
debut."
two
Yeah, but
turns.
he'll be fine. But yeah, no, it's been interesting. And you mentioned East Avenue, and he is going to be the favorite in the Risen Star Stakes, and understandably so. I mean, the first two open lengths wins, and then obvious trouble in the Breeders' Cup. And I don't know if Tyler wrapped up on him or what, but I mean, he didn't do any running after that, which is understandable. But shows up here, potent connections. Brendan Walsh training for Breeder Godolphin. I just have to think he's going to be overbet, though. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you can't
Way
win,
over
but
bet.
you can't bet him at whatever price he's going to be.
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't pick him. 9 furlongs off the bench. The other problem that bothers me about East Avenue a little bit, if you go back and look at the Claiborne Futurity at Keeneland, you just mentioned Ferocious. I don't think Ferocious wants two turns, at least at the moment. He didn't. He got stuck behind the gate that day, and East Avenue just broke well and just did. He had no competition. That race has not come back good.
Yeah,
His Breeders' Cup's a toss. I can't play a horse like that in the going 9 furlongs. Also, you have to think Jonathan's Way is going to
right.
go. If
Well,
Jonathan's
an
Way,
American
who was
Promise, right?
somehow rated in the Breeders' Cup,
American
who?
Promise. The two inside
Yeah, I mean
horses.
one and two have to go. Correct. Yeah, they have to go. So I mean, unless East Avenue breaks way quicker than 1 and 2, he's probably going to be sitting third or three wide, probably stuck in behind. But I mean, I just can't. He's gonna be. He's a hype horse. I mean, he's gonna. What is his morning line? Like
His
probably
morning
eight to
line's
five,
9 to 5.
7 to 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he's gonna be sitting around those. I can't play a horse like that. I know he has talent, but he's kind of in the Citizen Bull camp with me. I need to see him overcome some adversity before I take him at a
yeah.
short price. But yeah, I agree with you on American Promise. He's probably gonna go.
So yeah, I mean, I do have him as the most likely winner, but I mean, at 3-1, he's not going to be anywhere close to that. So I know that East Avenue is sort of off the board for me as a wagering prospect. Jonathan's Way, I have as my third choice in terms of most likely, but a mile and an eighth, Vacoma, 2 month plus bench. His speed figures regressed, or at least on Ragozin as his 2-year-old season went on. I absolutely need to see one from him here. Uh, if American Promise doesn't fire at all and Jonathan's Way ends up gate to wire, that's the only way I see it. And I don't see that. I mean, and he's not going to be one.
Yeah, I actually have that horse on my in my Derby fantasy league, and I looked up his pedigree. That horse doesn't have the pedigree to go. I mean, I know he's won in a mile, but he has zero
Yeah,
two-turn pedigree. So he's gonna have to overcome his pedigree, which is obviously possible. Vacoma's been a good
for
sire,
sure.
but even him being on my team, I'm a little biased. I want him to run well, but
Yeah,
I don't. I could see him setting the pace and like getting tired running third or fourth. The only way I see him winning is if, like you said, if he gets a clear lone lead. But maybe he could prove his pedigree and his
Yeah,
haters
no, I
wrong.
mean they're going in the deep end with 9 furlongs. I was a little surprised given the pedigree they didn't find a 8.5 or even mile spot to start his 3-year-old season. But I mean they'll know what they have after this one for sure. Two maiden
Yep.
winners, Vassimo and Septarian for Pletcher and Brown respectively. We've seen them ship in here before, and then the local horse Built. To me, it's one of those three is the one I'll like be excited about betting. I just have no idea which one of the three is going to be the longest price.
I actually took Built in this race. I thought he ran really well to overcome adversity in the Lecomte. The race before that was it the
Yeah,
Gun Runner, I think it's called now. It was a little bit of a phony race because he kind of got everything his own way. But he showed the ability last time to overcome adversity. I think Saez will have him close to the pace. I actually like him. And would you have him at six? What's his line? Five to
he's
one,
five to
probably
one.
his
Yeah,
morning line.
and 4 or 5,
Yeah.
and I have
So
him at 6. So.
I would bet him to win if he's 5 to 1, 6 to 1, probably. I would
Yeah,
take
I have a
him.
similar
I
read. I
like
mean, he
Vassimo.
got a lifetime best in the Gun Runner, and actually the best of this group. So regression may be expected, but I mean, the pedigree says he shouldn't mind mud, but
You're a
I didn't
rag
watch
guy.
that race think, oh, he's handling this well, and he was still second. I mean, he ran fine. It wasn't great, but you know,
Did the Ragazins match up to the Beyer speed figures on how slow of a race the Lecomte was? Because it was a dreadfully
Not
slow
quite
race on
as
Beyer.
slow, but I mean, like I'm much more interested in Built because we have a fast race. Like we know he's capable of this.
Mhm.
That's fast enough to win.
On a
But
fast
like the
track too.
winner of that race, I want nothing to do with. He's never been fast, and
Nothing to do.
he closed, and kudos to him. But
I think he got hurt.
is he off the trail?
No, I don't think he's off the
Little
trail disco time. I
little
think
delay.
he missed a little
Mhm.
time. He'll come back in the last prep or something, but I think it was a Cox horse.
All right. Well, yeah, Built. You know, I think he can run back to that gun runner. And I mentioned this on the with Kevin as well. If he had won that race, like let's say disco time gets stopped or whatever, like the closing move gets stymied a little, and Bill had actually won, he'd be shorter here because people loved it. Oh, he won. They see the ones, but he didn't. The race, I mean, it's the same race whether he won or not. So we actually get a little bit of a price bump because he got ran down.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be interesting to see how they bet Jonathan's way, though. There is a chance Bill takes
There
more money
is,
than
yeah.
Jonathan's way because everybody looks at Jonathan's way like we
One,
do.
I mean,
There's a chance Bill takes more
Pletcher
money.
and Brown, and given Arad and Flavian are the jockeys. I mean, they're not going to get ignored.
There's only one problem with hold on, I got it right here. Didn't was it Septarian? I didn't
Yeah,
even
that's his name.
that horse comes out of the Mucho Macho
Right.
Man. The 1-2 finishers in that race came back to both be eased. So Guns Loaded got eased in the Fountain of Youth and not the Fountain of Youth, the Holy Bull and Treaty of Rome in the Sam F. Davis was not good.
Mm,
That scares me a
yeah.
little. That scares me
Blinkers,
a little.
though.
Just a little.
No, it's a
He
factor for
needs
sure.
blinkers.
Uh,
Massimo looks slow on paper, but you can just see it. 2 starts, ears up at the finish
yeah.
line. Might be able the one that really wants 9 furlongs. So I don't know if he's good enough to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if he ran second or third at a price.
No. Well, and any long shot, like I mean, because after that, I think then we're talking
13, but his post is
post is
terrible.
terrible. Yeah,
Magnitude.
actually, well, I have
I was interested in that horse, but that post is, I mean, I don't know what's he going to do from out
right.
there? Just drop back?
I like the jockey.
Anybody scratching in here?
Any what?
Well, yes, his jockey is he got a big jockey upgrade he got the rider of the 2 rode him last time. So he is getting a jockey upgrade in here. So maybe that'll help him out a little. But is anybody scratching
I
in
haven't
here?
heard yet. A couple scratches on the undercard so far, but
And render judgment for McPeak the 10. He just he always seems to find a way somehow,
right,
McPeak. So
especially when you're not
it
expecting him
wouldn't
to find the way.
yeah, correct. So that's what I'm saying. Like it wouldn't surprise me if he somehow ran third at a huge price because it's McPeak. But
Yeah,
I think this race has some good
I'm gonna
value.
do a little research with the big field, but I'm curious, like what long shots crash the party? Because I do think from a wagering perspective, the superfecta here with 13 horses, especially knowing I don't want Jonathan's Way or East Avenue on top, like that's a legitimate, potential 4-figure super.
Yeah. Well, whatever you bet in the super, send it to me because I'm not a super
All
guy.
right,
So just send me your ticket and
you'll
I'll fire it.
tail. I like
I'll
it.
tail. And then if I win, I'll
Well,
brag.
yeah, of course. All right, that's a final look at the Risen Star Field and one last look at the Prince's Kentucky Derby top 10. There is a future wager this weekend. Definitely would say wait until we know what happened in the Risen Star before diving in. But I'm eager to see how it gets bet. Citizen Bull, unfortunately, and Barnes are 2 that, maybe are obviously going to be, bet 2 down to take a price in mid February. I I would look at Rodriguez if others take more money and maybe 25 to 1. Is that possible on him?
Yeah, and Rodriguez is the type horse that if he stays running against Citizen Bull, he's probably not going to beat him because of his trips. But when you get in the Derby, you get a horse like that who's been running well against the circumstances. anything in the Derby, you're going to get value on a horse
Right.
like that if he just continues to get wire jobbed by lone leaders like Citizen Bull. So he's a horse to watch for sure because he made some really interesting middle moves, dropped back, then ran on again. So I think he's got some ability.
I agree. Well, like I said, most importantly, it's a good group. I think come Derby time, it seems like the type of group where you could be excited about like the fifth or sixth choice, like legitimately. Man, this 20-1 is one of the ones in here, and that's part of what makes the Derby so fun because most other grade ones, it's a field of 8, and even if you like the third choice, you're only getting a $10 winner. So long way to go before then, but so far so good.
Only 80 days.
That it?
It's 80 days, I think.
Wow.
Something like that, 79, 80 days.
Yeah,
Not
11
that
weeks from the Risen Star. So, yeah, very good. All right, well, fairground sheet Saturday.
Fairgrounds and Gulfstream.
You doing one Thursday for the carryover? Pick 5, 30 grand. Fairgrounds.
Where at? Oh, no, I will
All
not
right.
be
Well,
involved
we
in
have
that.
power.
I've lost enough trying to bet Turfways carryovers that I've had enough of these random track carryovers.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I do play fairgrounds every day. So, well, almost every day. So I'll definitely be looking. But I hear you. Turfway.
Good luck.
It could be a bankroll killer, but doesn't take many there at least.
Does not take many there.
All right. Well, that's the Prince. Check out his stuff this weekend. Put a link in the comments for you to avail all of that. And best of luck. I'm going. Thank you.
Have fun. Good luck. Make sure you send me your super
I
ticket.
thought you were going to say your soup.
No. Make sure you get a haircut before
I'm getting
you go,
one
though.
today. Yeah.
You do it yourself?
No, my wife, though. I mean, I just need
So it's free.
clippers, you know. She just makes sure it's even.
I just want
Thank
you to
you.
look
I
good.
appreciate that. I will be on
You're
TV
welcome.
for HRN's race. So
Yeah, make sure you look.
all right, so Prince,
Well, have
picks at
fun.
horseracing.com. Good luck this weekend, everybody.